Yes, sir. Now, how did you come about meeting Curtis and Cedric?
That was through band. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When I went for band, they were ahead of me 2 years, and I was in the 6th grade. They were in the 8th, and so they were already in the band.
I see.
And,
in school.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then we formed a combo out of that band, to like do stuff.
Gotcha.
Jam and and start doing like block parties and like I said, bam.
That's huge, man. So were you always, at that point, the formative years, you were always a trio and then just getting excited?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were pretty much a trio for a long time. Then we had a guitar player, Randy Bowen. You might have seen him with the Bird, Four Tops, and Chrisette Michelle, Jill Scott, all kind of people.
Absolutely.
And so he was with us for years. He was like our first fourth. You did. And over the years, it's the band has morphed into
what it is now.
Yeah. We had 2 keyboard players, 2 keys and sax, and now it's just myself with just 1 key, guitar, bass, drum, sax.
So who can we expect to see at the Jazz Fest this year?
I have no idea.
No idea.
No. Who's coming this time? Which group? So it's myself and Tony Watson Jr. on sax.
Oh yeah.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Akron. Or Canton.
Yeah.
And Ron Lawrence on guitar, who's been with everybody as well. And Curtis, of course, the original member, and Dave Dyson on bass.
Oh yeah. Dave.
He's a monster, isn't he?
Oh man, we've had an opportunity to be in Baltimore. Sound Doctor's been in Baltimore multiple times. We call it like our second home. And Dave is just a legend in that area. DC, Baltimore. He will bring the hammer. So
yes, he will.
That's important. Absolutely. Now, you've settled recently. I think it's been 10 years now. You've settled in Youngstown, and we're Youngstown natives. 13 years. Gee, man,
believe it or not. Wow.
Now it's probably not because Youngstown is a music capital.
That's a veritable entertainment mecca that it be.
We are not. But there
no, hey, some cats come out here, silly back, like, hey,
that's right.
That's,
absolutely
iconic right there.
Yes, sir.
Iconic.
Yes, sir. Definitely Kevin, who was a mainstay. I mean, Kevin Alexander.
Yes.
Who was just his music was in his blood.
Oh man, that's my brother there.
Absolutely,
my brother.
So there's a lot of great musicians that come out of Youngstown, but it's not Nashville. It's not New York. It's not. But there was a reason why you chose Youngstown to settle in.
Well, I met my soulmate. Yes, Teresa Barron, and she was. We met at a gig, actually at the Youngstown Playhouse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were playing there, and she was campaigning. Really? Oh man! Yeah, she was campaigning for clerk of courts, and so I wound up meeting her after the show, and she come to find out she never heard a Piece of a Dream or anything, but saw a show and dug it, and so I'm signed the autograph. I signed the CD. And then, and we got to talk for a while, and I was just like, man, Black sister just really doing something. I was like, wow, just proud of her, proud of you, don't even know you. Yeah. It's like, if I was here, I'd vote for you,
Wow.
But, so then, she walks off, and I'm sitting there signing some more autographs, and I'm kind of like checking her out, and like, well, no, I don't think she's with hell, can't be. Trying to read body language and all that. I don't know anything about her, whatnot. Like, well, no, don't look like she was, no, So I asked her to come back over, and so let me see a CD. So she hands it to me, and I wrote a P.S. I think I'm in love.
Wow.
And she said, oh, really? Prove it. I was like, oh, I'm going with some chutzpah, some cojones, So I'm like, I like that even more. So I found a piece of paper, wrote my number down, gave it to her, and I said, now you gotta give me yours. I still have that. I still have that piece of paper, so does she. And we just been together ever since. I was like, well, look, with my job, I can live anywhere near an airport.
Right.
As long as I can get to an airport, I can get to work.
That's right.
It is. And she worked for, Judge Wade, Cheryl Wade. So I'm like, well, look, you just keep her here, come there. What the heck?
Wow.
and then realize the cost of living, like, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm paying $2,600 a year for car insurance, and that goes from that to like $600 and something a year.
That's
Like,
right.
oh,
Yeah.
I can move this already. Shucks. So yeah, that's what got me here.
That's good.
And been here since.
Well, we're so proud that you are a part of our community. I didn't realize that it had been 13 years, And
It flew, didn't it?
Yeah, it did fly. And again, putting you on the spot, you may not remember this, but we did, it wasn't called the Youngstown Jazz Fest, but we were down at a music fest, downtown Youngstown. And I think Cliff Barnes, the keyboard player for us, had started, touring with pieces at that point. And you came down, and we were all jamming on People Make the World Go Round. If you remember.
Yes, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah. So I mean, it was just like, wow, I got to get to know this brother better. And it's been like 5 years since that happened.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful for the opportunity, to know you. I'm grateful that Youngstown Jazz Fest chose one of our own, because that's what we want to do. And that's how come this is going to be such an incredible event, because we're going to highlight the best that Youngstown has to offer. What better group is one of our own who is now not a native, but now in the community, contributing positively to the community, than James Lloyd and Pieces of a Dream. I want to ask you a couple other questions, and then I'll let you go.
Sure.
We promised an in-depth interview. So that's what's happening. But 30 plus years, 33 years, I believe, right, in the industry, you've seen some major changes happen. I mean, everything.
Let me see. My first album came out in '81. So, but we started in '70. We weren't called Piece of a Dream, the whole time.
Yeah.
But the group, like Curtis and myself, the original members, we've been playing together for, since I was 12, so coming up on 36 years.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
That's huge.
Wow.
That's huge. So you've seen some changes, obviously, in the industry.
Yeah.
Record companies have changed, and I'm an independent artist, so didn't have the luxury of saying Sony or Warner Brothers or Electric or whatever. You pretty much do it on. I don't mind it, but from someone who's seen it happen, where there were large advances coming, tour support, what have you, and now everything is virtually viral, and the language of the day is the download. It's not the album or the CD anymore.
Yeah.
How has that impacted your perspective on the industry?
Well, I think one of the things that really has kept Pieces around for so long is we just go with the flow. If you don't adapt to the changes, you become a dinosaur.
That's what's up.
Things evolve, so you can evolve with it or fight against it. Like no. You dig? And so we just sort of embrace the way things go. When we first were doing this, getting airplay, there were no smooth jazz stations. There was no such thing as smooth jazz. That phrase hadn't been coined yet. So there were no smooth jazz festivals. What venues you played, it was just because, they want to see you there. But, it was, they were playing us on like urban stations, R&B, whatnot, I guess what would be the hot 97 kind of thing of today. And then, then the smooth jazz thing sort of, started coming about, and then which was great because there was like more and more artists, doing like what we were doing, right. All these other cats coming out like, hey, and then like you said, it was a record company age was very prevalent, and that was good, and a lot of great things came out of that. Now it's in a time where I guess record companies aren't as much necessity, not to distance or anything, you know what I mean? But it's just that a lot more people are able to, do things in their home studio. When we were coming up, you had to go to somewhere that had, 2-inch reels, right? 24 track, 48 track, now you can do pretty much everything at home, you know, even down to mastering, and then just go somewhere and have it printed up. And the means for advertising changed. People, I guess, were sort of heading to the hills when a lot of smooth jazz stations were changing over,
right.
you know, changing over to rock or country or whatnot. But, you know, I mean, yeah, a lot of these people, you know, I've known and you know, got to talk to them. You know, so there's like all different cases. You know, you may have an instance where someone's at a station for 32 years, and you know he's just tired, and you know what I mean. Somebody comes along with a check and says, "Hey, I want to," you know, they can turn it into whatever they want, but I don't want to buy this. What are you gonna do? You know,
Exactly right.
it's 30 million or 60 million. You know.
Yeah.
And then there's the I guess that there's more money in advertising for radio stations for other types of other genres of music. So it just is what it is. So it just sort of, you know, I think between that and the public not happy with hearing a couple of jazz songs and then Mariah, and then a couple of jazz songs and then Whitney and then Luther and then, you know, Babyface or whatever. It's like, wait a minute, they're not playing, you know, Grover or Pieces on the Hot 97 station,
Right.
you know. So why are you taking up our airtime with this?
Right.
I think part of that was maybe they, you know, think that that's what the people wanted or needed that in order to keep the listener going. But it was getting more in the way than anything. And then, you know, next thing you know, you're hearing the same song over and over.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't even the variety, and then the Mariah, and then the Whitney. You know, so you're hearing the same few songs, and next thing you know, it's like, whoa.
You know, just to go a step deeper in that, you know, because I'm you know, not only do I participate, but I'm an observer. You know, I look at the trends. I look at, you know, the what happened when smooth jazz came into play. Now that everyone, as you say, ran for the hills, you know, and they begin to redefine their music, you know, to almost call yourself a smooth jazz musician, it's like a virus right now. Like you can't. That's not.
Yeah, right.
Some of those same artists have redefined their genre. I've seen Pieces of a Dream move through a lot of different genres. You mentioned 4/5/4. I mean, you've done the smooth jazz. You did contemporary. You did funk. You know, you did the R&B. But was there ever a title or handle when someone asked you, "What type of music is Pieces of a Dream?" What did you ever, you know, what did you guys define yourselves as?
You know, it's funny because back in the day, we used to get that question a lot. You know, what type of group do you call yourselves? I'm like, musical. You know, and we were, I guess, kind of not so much feeling the, you know, the need for a label or not label record company, but label title.
Yeah,
exactly. Title. You know, it's like, you know how they say there's only two types of music, good and bad. You know what I mean? Really. Because we go from, you know, we'll play straight ahead.
Sure.
You know, we'll do some funk, we'll do some, you know, ethereal stuff, you know, some smooth jazz, fusion type stuff, and we'll do some, you know, all the way up to, I mean, things like Monterey Groove or you know, pop is like 4/5/4,
Right.
and then you had the About That Time album,
Right.
you know, the stuff with Norwood, you know, pick up
yeah.
the pieces and What Can I Do, and you know, things like that, which are, you know, different, but you know, a lot of people thought, well, that's not Pieces, you know. Well, how can you say it's not Pieces
Exactly.
if it came out of us? You know, it was just what we were feeling at the time, and you know, we're sorry for the people who, you know, weren't feeling it.
Right.
And so we just, you know, we just kind of flow and just live the life and live music.
I really dig that answer. I really do.